Well, hello and welcome to the greatest show on earth, our special broadcast coming to you live from Doha in Qatar. And now, after weeks of intense football, we are down to two teams that have made the finals of FIFA World Cup 2022. And you couldn't have asked for a better combination there. One, a South American giant, and the other, a European giant in France. Two of the best players on the planet right now. On one end, you've got Lionel Messi, and on the other end, you'll have Kylian Mbappe. So it's building up to be a great final. But before we talk about the final, we're going to focus on the second semi-final. Joining us on the show live, Indian footballer Dalima Chhibber. I'll get Dalima to exactly sum up the semi-final that we saw between Morocco and France. But first, let's take a look at France's journey now. They've had an incredible run in this tournament, as they did last time around, defending champions. Now are chasing history of their own to becoming the first team in 60 years to defend the FIFA World Cup crown. And the way that this team played against Morocco and previously in their quarterfinals and round of 16 tells you probably, even though they're up against the Lionel Messi-led Argentina, probably France once again go in as the favorite. This has been their secret of success. And in hindsight now, most people that you meet are going to tell you that, listen, Argentina versus France was the most obvious final. But tell you what, before this tournament started, not many people had picked France just as they did last time around. Last time, they had plenty of bench strength, plenty of players for each position. This time, they were suffering a lot of injuries, especially the ones that come to your mind. N'Golo Kante wasn't there with this team, and the current best player on the planet, the Ballon d'Or winner, Karim Benzema, also was out due to injury. Yet France have shown that they're already amongst the two best teams on the planet, despite all the injuries that they've had. Dalima is still with us. Dalima, looking at the way the French team has played so far, do you think they're looking good to repeat what Italy did in the 1930s and what Brazil did in the late 1950s, 60s?
They definitely have that talent, they have that potential in the team. Because if you look at their forward line, if you look at their striking line, they have been scoring some good number of goals. But again, like we've been talking, that Kylian Mbappe and Olivier Giroud have 9 goals in total. So do Messi and Alvarez, and we know that the final game is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an attack versus an attack team where we would get to see a lot of wow moments. But again, if we talk about just the French team, they do have the potential, they have the talent, and they've been showing us over and over again that why did they deserve to be in this World Cup. They've got not only the desire to take it back home again, but they've got that talent, and they've been putting up those performances. Like we spoke about Messi's wow moment yesterday, where he set his player up after dribbling, probably one of the best defenders of this FIFA World Cup, and he set that ball up so nicely on the plate. We experienced Mbappe do the same way in the second goal, where he dribbled right into the 18-yard box and he set up his teammate for that winning goal. So I feel like, there have been lots of wow moments, but again, going into the final, we know what both the teams are going to be capable of. And again, if France can really do it, and if they want it, it's going to come down to the last day and that last game, because they're going to be facing some hard competition, some hard, they're going to be facing a good defense, a good team against themselves, and they're going to have to perform more, they're going to have to do more on a given day to be able to take it back. But again, if you ask me, do they have that, what it takes to take it back home? Yes, they do.
Okay, French team are looking very, very good. Other than that side contest that we're talking about, Lionel Messi on one side, Kylian Mbappe on the other. Didier Deschamps, let's not forget about him, lifted that World Cup trophy as a player in 1998, now coaching his team, has already won that title as a coach. Can he repeat that? So there's another interesting contest when it comes to the French coach too. If you were at the game yesterday, all you saw was a sea of red. Of course, that stadium, Al Bayt Stadium here in Doha, Qatar, was dominated by Moroccan fans. Unfortunately for them, the game didn't pan out the way they expected. We caught up with a few French fans at the end of the game, and a lot of them were ecstatic after their team's performance. Listen in.
We're gonna win like 2 times in a row. I know that Brazil and Germany did, Italy and Brazil did it. It's for France now. Vive la France! Et vive les Bleus!
It was a very good match. Unfortunately, Morocco couldn't win, so what to do? It is what it is.
Argentina is winning 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0.
Allez les bleus! Quoi?
But there will be a lot of Argentinians in the public too, so yeah, there will be a good the stadium, everything will be all right. But we're gonna win anyway, so.
Yes! Happy! Woo! We won and we deserve it!
I will say that everything worked. We didn't imagine that we can reach the semifinals. It's amazing.
Our style, we did the Spanish did the same game with us. The Portugal did the same, and we win. So this is football. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. We should forget this. We should forget this game and focus on the next one against Croatia.
All right, a great night there for French fans, as you just witnessed outside the Al Bayt Stadium here in Doha, Qatar. Dalima Chhibber still with us. Dalima, despite the fact that France were the runaway winners, beating Morocco 2-0, but overall, just the way this Moroccan team performed, many thought that, listen, this is a defensive side, they like to sit back, but yesterday the kind of chances that they created, can the team and the fans from here go away back to their country with their heads held high?
Yes, because I think the way Morocco has been able to achieve this historic moment, the way they've been the only country to reach from the only country from Africa to reach the semi-final. They've not only done the country proud, but the entire continent proud, I would say. And yes, there's nothing but to keep their heads held high, and they have another game coming up for them that is going to be the game for the third position. And again, they would have a chance to prove themselves and go all out there. And again, if we talk about the game from last night, if you look at the stats, both the teams had around equal number of shots on target and equal number of shots. So that does tell us all about, a lot about Morocco and what they are capable of as a team. And going forward, I'm pretty sure they're going to be building off of that. And knowing that Morocco just lacked was a clinical finisher, and that is where France and the French team took that advantage, and they were able to put the ball at the back of the net. Because had Morocco done that, they would have stayed alive in the game. But just having conceded that goal so early in the game, and we know Morocco being a side who hasn't really conceded a game that early in any of the games or conceded a goal at all until their semi-final run. I don't think they really knew how to come out of that pressure or to be able to tackle that, but they did have a lot of opportunities. There was a beautiful, beautiful bicycle kick. Only if it would have gone in the goal, there would have been probably a goal of the tournament to take back home as well. But again, they were equally at par with the French team when it came to having shots on target and having chances to score. It's just that they failed to be as calm and composed to be able to put the ball at the back of the net.
I think Dalima just hit the nail on the head when he spoke about that resilience that we saw from the Moroccan team. They were down 1-0 in the first 5 minutes, but from there on kept attacking. So much for the defensive nature of play that people keep talking about the Moroccan team. They were all-out attack against a very, very strong French team yesterday. Unfortunately, couldn't get that finishing touch, which could have taken them over the line. But one thing that's been very constant that we've been telling you throughout our broadcast here is that two set of supporters have dominated this proceedings here in Doha. One from Morocco, they've turned up here in large number. The other, of course, if you see the stadium, you see a lot of Argentine fans packing the stadiums. But if you take a look at the data, there's a big surprise for you. Amongst the total number of fans that have turned up to watch the FIFA World Cup, number one are from Saudi Arabia. That is understandable. They share a land border, so a lot of them can drive in and come here. At number 2, surprise, surprise, there have been Indian fans. Why is it that the Indian fans turned up here in large number, even though their team isn't participating? We take a closer look. This is a special report that we bring to you from Doha, Qatar.
आपके दिल में तो इंडिया है, वो तो हमने सामने ही देख लिया है। रोनाल्डो को कितना ज्यादा सपोर्ट करेंगे?
एकदम पूरा रोनाल्डो को सपोर्ट करेंगे।
इंडिया के लिए तो कोई बात ही नहीं है, ये फ्लैग तो फिर सबसे बढ़िया है। लेकिन ये है ना कि
उधर में
ये तो लिवरपूल है,
इधर से लिवरपूल है।
भारत माता की।
Scenes like these are not uncommon in Qatar. So what if there is no Indian team at the FIFA World Cup? The Indian flag can be seen everywhere. Whether it's inside the stadiums or outside.
My whole stand, I would say 50% were like foreigners. There were some Brazilians, there were some Moroccans. But I would say 50% were Indians and Pakistanis. And we all are cheering for Ronaldo. So you can see how the love of the game is. I mean, I feel it was a tremendous experience. You can't have this experience on TV.
Of course, the predominant faction has been the Saudis, who are a neighboring country and are coming in by road. But after that, Indians are the most in terms of volume and numbers. So, like, I think 25% have been Saudi fans, but after that it's been Indian fans who are coming in, and we're seeing it at every game.
Take the Shankars for example, a family of doctors from Jaipur. They've been lifelong football fans, but Qatar 2022 happens to be their first FIFA World Cup experience.
I've been a lifelong FIFA fan. I've lifelong been a football buff, a big time. And the earliest and the fondest memory that I had was with my father watching Brazil in the final and Ronaldo shooting the goals. And so this is just like a dream come true. So we got a chance, and so here we are.
One of the major reasons for the influx of the Indian football fans at the World Cup in Qatar has been the proximity factor.
When we heard about it in Qatar, of course this is our chance, because that's closest, for us to come and, see the last World Cup for especially Messi.
In spite of being doctors and very busy schedule, so we thought it's the right time. It was so nearby, and it was a pocket-friendly event as well. We can't afford to go to Europe, so it was a fine place. So we came down here.
It's not just the football fans coming in from India. The Indian workforce in Qatar is the highest from any country and have majorly contributed in the successful hosting of the World Cup.
So the running joke in footballing circles is that even though this tournament is called Qatar 2022, this effectively is the first FIFA World Cup that India is hosting. That's because not only do Indians make up the maximum amount of workforce, people that are working behind the scenes to make this event a success, but also in terms of fans coming in, Indian fans are right up there when compared to the rest of the globe. So even though the Indian team may not be playing here, the Indian tricolour is still flying high. In Doha, Qatar, with Anuj Shukla, Nikhil Naz for India Today.